So you can automate basically all of your small business bookkeeping with Claude and Onyx. And in this video, I'm going to break down exactly how that all works. And by the end, you'll see how you can get your bookkeeping down to as little as 30 seconds a month. And in a lot of cases, you don't even have to do anything on a month-to-month basis. So starting with part one, what Claude can and can't do for your bookkeeping. So Anthropic actually launched something called Claude for Small Business earlier this year. And it has 15 built-in skills, including QuickBooks integration, PayPal reconciliation, and month-end close workflows. Now, major accounting firms like PwC, KPMG, Deloitte, they're now running Claude at scale for finance and tax work. So this isn't some like weird one-off kind of use case. Like, it's becoming the industry standard to do this. And Claude can genuinely help with, again, reconciliation, categorization, finding deductions you might be missing, and building income statements, among plenty of other things in this world, in the accounting world. Now, the thing is, though, raw Claude categorization accuracy starts around 70 to 71%. So you give it 100 transactions, only 70 to 71 of them will it categorize correctly. That's pretty good considering it's instant, but when it doesn't have any client history to learn from, that's kind of the baseline. So it's decent, but it's not great on its own. It's definitely it makes your workflow more efficient. Now, if you're just using raw Claude, you also have to design the income statement format yourself. You have to structure your prompts correctly. You have to stay consistent about doing it or cram at tax time, which is, one of the big problems. Now, if you're a really big DIY person or, you have a smaller, simpler business, this totally can be enough for you. But as your business grows, you're doing hundreds of thousands a year, pressing into the millions per year. That's where things become a lot more of a problem, and keeping up with your books becomes a lot more of a headache, and it's not worth building some whole thing yourself. And the moment Claude isn't directly connected to your actual bank data, for one, it's not reconciled, but for two, you're stuck manually downloading statements and then feeding them in, and it's a much more manual process. So that's where Onyx comes into play. So what exactly is Onyx? So Onyx connects Claude directly to your bank accounts via Plaid, which is like the #1 bank account integration software in the world. And that's just something Claude can't do on its own. Now, once it's connected, transactions flow into Onyx automatically instead of you manually uploading your statements. So you never have to do all that manual stuff on an ongoing basis. Now, what Onyx does is it uses Claude under the hood for the reasoning and for the categorization. But what it does is it wraps it in a system that remembers your merchants. It asks you for review on things it's not absolutely confident in. It learns your purchase, transaction, and income patterns, and it builds a proper audit trail so it gets smarter rapidly as you tell it, this is what this is, that is what that is, right? Now, one industry review put it pretty well, where a general LLM, large language model, so Claude, for example, and a purpose-built AI bookkeeping tool, they're not, quote, not competing tools, they're different jobs, right? Which makes complete sense. Claude is great for, drafting and one-off analysis, this kind of thing, whereas Onyx is built for production categorization that runs every single day without you having to think about it. So the way that they work together is you connect your bank account through Plaid. It takes about 2 minutes. Onyx then automatically categorizes the vast majority of your transactions using Claude, learning your specific merchants and patterns as it goes. Then the handful of transactions it's unsure about, those get flagged for a quick confirmation. Usually it's under 5 a month. In some cases, for me last month, it was 0. I didn't have to do anything. And you get an email about that each month. And then once you confirm something, it's then remembered forever. So you don't have to recategorize the same recurring charge over and over again. It has a memory. And so at any point, you can download a clean CPA-ready income statement for tax time just with one click. There's no manual formatting required. You don't have to do anything. It's designed for CPAs to actually love it, look at it, and go, perfect, this is everything that I need, right? Instead of having a bunch of back and forth at tax time, which is something that I personally hated, especially when I started to get really busy. Now, so you can just use Claude, but when you combine it with Onyx, it makes it pretty much completely done for you as a real bookkeeper, but without having to pay $500 a month and beyond kind of thing. So who is each one of these for? Now, if you're just starting out, like you have low transaction volume, you have a pretty small business, and you enjoy the DIY approach, using Claude directly with your bank statements at year end can truly and honestly work just fine for you. Whereas again, if you're a busier business owner, you're doing 100, 200, 300, 800,000 a year, a few million a year, and you don't have time to manually be managing your numbers and looking at your books all the time, and you want something to just kind of run it in the background automatically and reliably for you, as well as giving you all the reports at the end of the year so you don't have to cram and so on and so forth. That's exactly who Onyx was built for. So if that's you, there's a link in the description, and here's the Onyx website as well. So there's automatic reconciliation, again, CPA ready income statements, deduction reminders. You don't have to touch any spreadsheets or doing anything like that. I mean, the income statement is a spreadsheet, but it just gives that to you to forward over to your accountant after you double check it. So it gives you deduction alerts. So it highlights based on your industry, hey, like here's something that you may or may not be writing off, right? So you can spot some deductions. Again, it gives you the done for you income statements. You can connect an unlimited number of bank accounts, separating personal from business and so on and so forth. So everything's in one place. All of your business numbers are there. You know how much revenue you have each month, how many, what your expenses are, and then what your net profit is. It's all just automatically calculated for you. And again, there's automatic reconciliation and categorization. It's pretty simple. So you can connect instantly. It takes like 60 seconds to get it going. Onyx categorizes basically everything. You just confirm the few flags, it gets smarter. And then again, you send that report over to your CPA at tax time. So that's that. The cost is $99 a month or $8.99 per year. So again, if you're a smaller business and this feels a little pricey for you, totally do it yourself. But if you're a business owner where things are getting really busy and you don't want to pay $500 or $1,000 a month for a bookkeeper, this is who this was particularly made for. So that's more or less that. So again, combining these two, you can pretty much fully automate your bookkeeping start to finish. And Onyx really changed my life, to be honest. The reason I built it was because I hated bookkeeping so much. I built a couple businesses up to about 7 figures, and it was just a complete mess. Like I really hated doing the bookkeeping and the tax stuff and the back and forth at tax time. Like it really bothered me. So I was really happy when I was able to, create this tool here that just makes my life way easier. Again, last month I literally didn't even have to do anything. It just categorized everything based on its memory, and that was that, right? So pretty cool stuff. Again, if you do want to get it, there's a link in the description. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next one.